Promotional consideration paid for by the following.
Hello and welcome once again, you lovely people, to another quick shot review. This week I have been to see Renfield. What is Renfield about? It is about Dracula and his assistant, or his second, did they call it a second? I don't know, I can't remember. I only saw it the other day. That's really terrible. Anyway, I'm going to move on from that little faux pas and say, actually, this might be my favourite movie of the year because it's Nicolas Cage at his most Nicolas Cageiest. And he's not even the main character. So that tells you everything you need to know about this film. But I'm going to tell you more because we're going to go into the main part of the video. And I'm going to give you the rundown on Renfield. Join us there. Renfield is a film that was released in 2023, very recently in fact. It runs in at 1 hour and 33 minutes, so it's very reasonable in terms of length. It is a 15, so obviously it's for the teenagers because it is quite gory. And that's one of the reasons I really liked this film, actually. It is billed as a comedy fantasy horror. It is a lot of comedy. There's a lot of comedy in this. It is Nic Cage at his most Nicolas Cageiest, as I mentioned before. And officially, it is Renfield, Dracula's henchman and inmate at the lunatic asylum for decades. Longs for life away from the Count, his various demands and all of the bloodshed that comes with them. This is very cleverly done because it explores toxic relationships in quite a funny way, i.e. Renfield and Dracula. Dracula needs and wants all the time, and Renfield just can't get away from it. Literally, because he is bound to Dracula, because he gave him Dracula-like powers. But it does turn into a bit of an action. There's a bit of action in this as well. But the action is over-the-top B-movie action, which is absolutely awesome. And, yeah, it's brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. I was laughing out loud at most things that you were supposed to laugh out loud at. And obviously there's some like quite solemn moments here. You know, obviously Dracula is still killing people. But it's not in, I mean it is in a horrific way, but it's not done like horror. And one of the things that I really liked about this film is that it did a massive homage several times to Christopher Lee's Dracula, the Hammer horror Dracula back in the 60s, with a little bit of light across his face and stuff. But Nicolas Cage playing Dracula, I was always going to see this film. And even if it was bad, I was going to be loving this film. So, like I say, he's not even the main character. He doesn't appear actually that much, but when he does, he's so good. A bit of a career renaissance, I think, for Nicolas Cage. And I've got to explore some more Nicolas Cage films from when he was having his little bit of a breakdown, because, yeah, it's going to be good. So Nicholas Hoult plays Renfield, as I said, the main character. Plays it brilliantly, plays it really well alongside Nicolas Cage's Dracula, who is completely over the top. Obviously, Nicholas Hoult is a British actor, so done very much in that style that all Americans think Brits speak like, sort of, yeah, sort of terribly awkward, if you like, and yes, this podcast does not do the English people any favours. I'm starting to sound like Boris Johnson now. Oh dear. Anyway, Nicolas Cage playing Dracula. That's all you need. Goodbye. No. Because we do get a fantastic performance. Over the top, almost rivals Nicolas Cage's performance from Awkwafina, who plays Rebecca, a rookie cop who is on traffic duty but is absolutely determined to bring down the Lobo family, who are a crime syndicate, big family who've taken over her city, sort of doing the whole sort of Batman type thing with the whole deal. Who meets Renfield in funny circumstances, I suppose. He's out to get Dracula's dinner and ends up saving this rookie cop. Obviously, that leads to hijinks, as it were, and leads to what is the start of a fantastic film. So I can't believe this has only got a 6.7 on IMDb as well, because I would rate it much higher because it's fantastic. I loved it. Absolutely brilliant. It's not going to win any awards, much like Super Mario, but as far as fun goes, this is brilliant. If you like your gore horror, this is definitely for you. Lots of practical effects here, and it's just completely over the top with them, which is even funnier. We've got Ben Schwartz playing Tedward Lobo, who is the main antagonist in this film. Sharon, I'm not even going to say her name, it begins with an A, playing Bella Francesca Lobo, the mother. And Brandon Scott Jones playing Mark. We've also got Adrian Martinez playing Chris, who is Jessica's partner in the police force, and also Camille Chen playing Katie, who is quite significant in the story as well, which I'm not going to give too much away on. This film is directed by Chris McKay and written by Ryan Ridley. It's funny because there's a lot of things that, and a lot of people that say Nicolas Cage is basically immortal, and in this film he is, because he's Dracula, which makes it even funnier. So it is, I say, it's not going to win any awards. It is amazing in its comedy and its delivery and everything else. It is, it's one of those films that I am going to end up buying on Blu-ray because it is that good. And I would definitely recommend this one if you're looking at something fun, if you're just up for a laugh, something that's over the top. It's very rare that we get anything like this. I think the last film that even resembled anything like this was Everything Everywhere All at Once, and that was completely different to this film, but it was so over the top. It was brilliant. And Bullet Train as well was a good one. If you're looking at something fun, if you're looking for a little bit of gore, because we don't tend to get that very much now with horror movies, and we certainly don't get practical effects. This is brilliant. Or if you're just looking for something to watch with Nicolas Cage in it, it's a seller, isn't it? It sells itself in the fact that it's Nicolas Cage doing horror, playing Dracula. It is just everything you want it to be, and more. And that is my rant. Well, I say rant is my ramblings about Renfield. Nicolas Cage, brilliant, fantastic, recommended. And with that, I'm going to draw this little podcast to a close. Thank you very much for watching and or listening to Quick Shot Reviews. And I will see you next time. Goodbye.
Hiya.